Have you ever wondered what actually happens inside a gun when someone pulls a trigger? From the outside, a gun may look like a simple metal tool, but inside it uses a smart mechanical system that works very quickly to fire a bullet at high speed. In this video, we are going to break it down step by step in a very simple language so that you can clearly understand how a gun operates. Let's start with the most important part of the process, the cartridge. A gun does not fire by itself. It needs something called a cartridge. A cartridge is a small unit that contains everything needed to fire a bullet. Inside a cartridge, there are four main parts. The first part is the bullet. The bullet is the metal projectile that travels out of the gun and moves toward the target. The second part is the casing. The casing is the metal container that holds all the other parts together. Third part is the gunpowder. Gunpowder is a special chemical substance that burns very quickly and produces expanding gas. Fourth part is something called the primer. The primer is a tiny ignition point that starts the firing process. All these parts together form one cartridge. When someone loads a gun, these cartridges are placed into the gun. Depending on the type of gun, they may be placed into a magazine, a cylinder, or directly into the chamber. The chamber is the part of the gun where the cartridge sits before the gun is fired. Now, let's talk about what happens when someone pulls the trigger. When the shooter pulls the trigger, a small chemical movement begins inside the gun. The trigger releases a part called the firing pin. The firing pin is a small metal piece that moves forward very quickly. When it moves forward, it strikes the primer located at the back of the cartridge. When the primer is struck, it creates a tiny spark. This spark immediately ignites the gunpowder inside the cartridge. Now, something very powerful happens. The gunpowder burns extremely fast and creates a large amount of hot gases. These gases expand very quickly inside the cartridge casing. Because the gas needs somewhere to go, it pushes the bullet forward with great force. The bullet then begins moving down the barrel of the gun. The barrel is the long tube that guides the bullet as it travels forward. Inside many barrels, there are spiral grooves cut into metals. These grooves are called rifling. Rifling plays a very important role in how a gun works. As the bullet travels through the barrel, the spiral grooves causes the bullet to spin. This spinning motion stabilizes the bullet while it travels through the air. It helps the bullet move into a straighter path and improves accuracy. Without rifling, bullets would move less accurately and could easily change direction in the air. Once the bullet reaches the end of the barrel, it exits the gun extremely high speed. In many cases, the bullet can travel faster than the speed of sound. When the bullet leaves the barrel, you may also see a flash of light and hear a loud sound. The loud sound happens because of the sudden release of high pressure gases. This sound is what we recognize as a gunshot. After the gun fires, something else happens depending on the type of gun. In some guns, the empty casing stays inside the gun and must be removed manually. In other guns, especially semi-automatic guns, the gun automatically ejects the empty casing and loads the next cartridge into the chamber. This allows the shooter to fire again without manually reloading each time. Even though all these steps sounds like a long process, everything actually happens in less than a second. The firing pin strikes the primer, the gunpowder ignites, gas expands, and the bullet travels through the barrel almost instantly. It is a very fast chain of events. There are different types of gun in the world, and they operate in slightly different ways. For example, a revolver stores cartridge in a rotating cylinder. Each time the trigger is pulled, the cylinder turns and places a new cartridge in line with the barrel. Another common type of semi-automatic is pistol. This gun uses energy from firing to automatically load the next cartridge. There are also rifles which usually have longer barrels. The longer barrel helps increase the bullet speed and accuracy. Shotguns are another type of firearms that fire multiple small pellets instead of one single bullet. Even though these guns may look different, the basic idea behind them is the same. They all use expanding gas from burning gunpowder to push a projectile through a barrel. Because guns are powerful tools, they must always be handled carefully and responsibly. In many places around the world, there are strict laws about who can own a gun and how it should be used. Proper training and safety rules are extremely important when handling firearms. Understanding how a gun works can help people understand the science and mechanism behind it. So, in a simple term, a gun operates by striking a cartridge, igniting gunpowder, creating expanding gas, and pushing a bullet through a barrel at a very high speed. All of this happens in just a tiny fraction of a second. That is the basic science behind how our guns operate. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.